What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Show. Today we're looking at some Hasbro Marvel Legend exclusive figures. So we have 4 figures here that are all exclusive to different places. So first we have Sentry and Moonstone that are Walgreens exclusives. We have Gorr the God Butcher that is an Amazon exclusive. And then War Machine that was a fan channel exclusive. So all 4 of these look really cool. It's awesome to get 2 more like cosmic figures for the Walgreens line. I think that's going to be it for Walgreens though from now on. Gorr the God Butcher in his comic version. So we saw him in like the Thor Love and Thunder movie. But now having him in the comic version is really cool. And then just War Machine that sort of matches that Iron Man we did that's like from the Capcom games. So cool to have all 4 of these figures. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with the Walgreens exclusive Sentry, whose real name was Robert Reynolds, and his origin kind of goes back to in the late 1940s, Canada's Department K and the US Operations Rebirth combined together to become Project Sentry that tried to recreate the super soldier serum but magnify its effect, and they really had no results at all until eventually a meth head addict broke into a lab and took the golden Sentry serum and became Sentry, which gave him the power of 1,000,000 exploding stars, so he pretty much became the Marvel's version of Superman. So that's like the best comparison you can have for him. And he has a weird backstory where he was, around for a long time, was involved with like Avengers and a lot of like origins and backstories to a lot of characters, but he also has a dark side hidden inside of him and becomes the Void, and the Void kind of came out, and once he got it back under control, he had the memories wiped of everyone in the universe, so no one remembered Sentry, not even himself, so he then emerged as the Sentry once again. So with his powers, he has superhuman strength, speed, agility, and reflexes, the power of flight, he's near invulnerable, he's immortal, has molecular manipulation, teleportation, invisibility, light projection, and can shoot energy blasts. So overall, he looks pretty cool, and like I said, he's pretty much Marvel's version of Superman, so kind of fits, with that big S on his belt and stuff, and looks pretty cool with the yellow and blue, so he's got the cape hanging out the back, it just looks like a normal cape, with the yellow all spandex outfit, so on his chest, going down the arms and down the legs, blue bands around his arms, and blue shoes there on his feet, and a blue belt with that S, like I said, there around his waist, and then we get his face there, so you can see he's got like yellow eyes, it looks like, so kind of like Superman's glowing red eyes, but yellow eyes with the long blonde hair there, which looks pretty nice flown in the wind. Not the best for like a static pose, like it'd be more for action and stuff, but overall looks good, nice sculpt and everything there for us. So overall he looks good. I do have an issue with the figure, like our issue seems that as you can see there, one foot is really longer than the other, or the leg at least, so he's always standing at like a side angle, and it's really annoying. Like I've tried to fix it and adjust and stuff, and no matter what I do, he's just always standing at that angle, and you can, just like I said, the one foot's really longer than the other, so I don't know what's going on with that and why he's got one longer leg, but that's really annoying with the figure. But overall, I think it looks good. Like it's just a little bit awkward, probably because of that leg, and just looks weird, and like the shoulders like seem to be like too sucked in, so you have to kind of get his arms out to get him like a little bowed and stuff there to make him look a little bit normal. But overall, I really like the look of the figure. But we can do the movement, so his head can twist. I don't know how well it'll twist with the hair. Yeah, you can force it if you do there, so you just have to force the hair around, so it can twist around, and he can look down that far and up just pretty much straight on there again because of the hair, so get some movements at least. The shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so not too bad. Then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We've got the ab crunch there, so crunch forward, crunch back, pretty good crunching in both directions. And then we get a twist all the way around at the waist. Of course, have to worry about his belt, but it can twist around there. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, has a shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall has decent movements. You can tell it's an older body, no pinless or anything on this, but they at least repainted it. Like I said, overall looks pretty good, just annoying about that whole leg, how he's always standing crooked. Now we've had an older version of Sentry, so we can bring that in and you can see the comparison. I think it looks pretty good as well. Of course it looks old, so the colors and everything aren't the best. I definitely like this one because of the new colors, but you have more of that gold color and the like lighted faded bluish gray color and stuff, so it doesn't look bad. It's a big bulkier body, once again bigger than the one he has now, but still overall looks pretty decent. So either way, you can't really complain. Like they both look relatively fine for Sentry, but I do really like the look of this new one. And accessory wise, so he has the fist hands on, so he comes with some additional hands. So we have like grip hands with trigger fingers, so I don't know why he's got trigger fingers. It seems a little bit weird. Shouldn't have guns or anything, but kind of weird there. And then he has a weird additional head, so I tried looking up to figure out what this is from. I thought maybe this this was the Void, but I did also read a thing that there was a story where he's fighting like the Avengers or Thor or something like that, and being crazy with the Void and stuff, he just ripped his face off. So he just had this skull, and I assume that's like going into the hair with the fire and stuff. So I assume that's what this is from, but I don't know because I couldn't really find any pictures to exactly like match or verify that. But just looks crazy with the skull head and yellow eyes, and then the blonde hair turning into the fire and stuff. So looks pretty crazy, almost like he's turning into Ghost Rider or something. But let's try and switch the head out and see what this looks like. So there's the skull head, and again looks pretty crazy. And I guess with the other hands, like with the trigger fingers, you could have it so they're like gripping, so have it up around his face like he's ripping his face off or something, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, don't really like the look of that. Don't really know exactly why they had to include that. So definitely the normal Sentry face is all we really need, so we'll switch it back. But with Sentry back to normal, overall I have to say I like the figure, like I said, design wise and everything. Do like it a bit more than the older one. Just have the annoyance with that stupid leg, so I kind of have him posed with his one leg out to the side so he can stand up a little bit straighter. But overall, like I said, not the best figure ever, obviously, with that issue, but still relatively good. So I do think it's worth getting. And then we have our other Walgreens exclusive figure of Moonstone, whose real name is Carla Sofin, and she was a renowned psychiatrist that enjoyed manipulating patients into paranoia, and this led her to Lloyd Block, who was the original Moonstone, who she convinced was a loathsome monster, and psychological trauma caused his body to reject the Moonstone, which was a Kree device that granted him powers, and this allowed Carla to absorb the Moonstone and become the new Moonstone. So she looks pretty cool here. This is a really cool design. I like it a lot. And again, another figure that we've had in the past, but I do like this newer design much better, so really cool to have her here. So she's pretty much in the all white spandex outfit with some of this yellow or cream color, whatever you want to call it is. So she's got the gloves, the center there, don't know if it's supposed to be her skin. I don't think so color wise. It doesn't really seem to match, but it just seems almost like a big weird exclamation point with the dot and then the bigger upper section, and then just white all the way down the legs. The nice long blonde hair, white mask going up around her face, and face looks good overall with the like red lipstick and stuff, so that overall looks good. And then she has the Thunderbolts logo there on the back in yellow, so pretty cool, showing she's a part of the Thunderbolts there. And overall, like I said, figure wise does look really good here. But with that Moonstone, she has the powers of supreme strength, speed, durability, agility, and reflexes, the power of flight, some molecular control, intangibility, and photokinesis. So she's got a wide range of powers there. And overall, like I said, figure wise does look pretty good, and it is the newer body, so it has the pinless elbows with the double elbows, but still have pins in the knees and stuff. So not fully new, but at least they did upgrade it to the double elbows, which is what I care about most. But we'll do her movements, so her head can twist around. It kind of twists just like Sentry. It's hard with all the hair, so you can probably work it around, but can't really get too far because of the hair. And then she can look down that far and then up again, probably just straight on because of the hair in the back. So not a whole lot of range in the head, unfortunately. But then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90, even a little bit over there. Twist all the way around. Then we get a bicep twist, double elbow joint. Again, love those double elbows that can bend pretty much all the way up on themselves for her. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch right under the chest, so crunch back and forth and twist all the way around there. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking her butt. And then the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So pretty good movements, especially with those double elbows. So I'm glad that they did at least some improvements and not just repaint it. And speaking of repaint, we do have that older figure, which I think was a part of an exclusive set or like the A4 set. I don't remember exactly, but we do have her here. And again, like I mentioned in one of the last videos, it seems like a lot of the repaints they do, they just take them from metallic, or they like to do a lot of metallic. And so now they've made it more flat colors and stuff. So definitely like this new Moonstone compared. Not that this other one's bad, just don't like all the metallic colors, especially compared to the newer flatter colors. And accessory wise, all she comes with is some additional hands. So of course we have the open like splayed out magic hands and stuff. We get soul switch, so that just sort of shows some of her powers. So there are those hands, and there's Moonstone now using some of her powers, which overall I think is pretty cool. Like I said, it's just a repaint of that older figure, so if you have that one, you don't have to get this one to replace it, but I do like the colors of the flatter matte colors and stuff compared to the metallics and everything. So definitely really like this figure just because of that, and it has the new double elbows and stuff, so that's an improvement there. So overall she looks pretty good, and I really like the design of this Moonstone. And next up, we've got the Amazon exclusive Gorr the God Butcher figure. So this is the comic version this time. We've already seen the MCU version with the Christian Bale version of Gorr from Thor Love and Thunder, which I thought was pretty good and relatively like fits the same storyline as Gorr. So I think they did a pretty good job with that aspect. Now the rest of the movie is a different story, but I'm glad we got a comic version of Gorr as well, because I think it's really cool, and especially like the additional head is something I like, because he looks a lot like a Twi'lek from Star Wars. So like I said, with that additional head, you'll definitely see that, but he looks cool here. So he's kind of like an unknown creature that was raised to believe and trust in the gods, but after going through tragedy after tragedy with his life, with no prayers being answered by the gods, he began to believe there were no gods, and because of this, he was exiled by his people. And while out wandering the desert, he witnessed two gods crash down from the sky, fighting, and one of the gods asked Gorr for help, but Gorr, realizing that gods do exist and they've just never answered him, he got enraged, took the sword from the other god, which transformed and bonded to Gorr, and Gorr used it to kill the god that was asking him for help. And so from then he vowed to travel the cosmos and kill all the gods, since gods do exist and none of them decided to help him. So that's a pretty cool story, and like I said, fits pretty well with how he was portrayed in the Thor movie. So like I said, I'm excited to get him in an actual Marvel character version. But if you didn't know, you'll see with the accessory and stuff, but the sword he got and killed the god with was all black, the Necro sword, which belongs to Null. So he pretty much gets infused with the symbiote, and so he gets superhuman strength, speed, durability, and reflexes, longevity, regeneration, and matter manipulation. Of course, with being like a symbiote can generate the matter and stuff. And overall, like I said, looks pretty cool here. So he's this all like palish gray color, so you can see it all through skin, and then has a lot of black running through it, so it could be like the symbiotes. And I don't know if those are like swords that like the symbiote's coming out of, or what the deal is with like the black dots, but like has like the pinkish color around, like it's infected and stuff. So that looks pretty weird. But there's a look at his face. It looks pretty good. You know, it looks very like Voldemort-ish. So no nose or anything, but he does have little nose holes up at the top there in between his eyes, which of course the eyes are all black and have red around them and stuff. So it looks pretty mean and evil there, with the black hood and like cloak or cape piece coming down. So he's got the two strands in the front and then the cape hanging down in the back, and you can see it's all twisted and mangled and looks very symbiotish and stuff, and some piece coming off there to the side. Just looks pretty crazy with the long nails and stuff, so long black nails, and then the weird feet. So he's got the 5 toes, but he's got more of like a monkey toe off to the side again with the nail there, and just overall looks cool. He looks a little bit too thick for what I'd imagine, like especially in the legs. I feel he'd be like thin and spindly, but overall it does look pretty good. And like I said, with his accessories he comes with, makes him look even better and more of the Gorr I would picture. But let's try his movements. I don't know how well we'll get any movements with the head, so it can rock back and forth. So it looks like the piece is attached to this head, but it can rock back and forth a little, and of course twist all the way around. The shoulder can come up that far. I don't know if you can get them any further. Like I'm trying to push down on it because there's this little ridge up on top of his shoulder, so I'm trying to get that down in there, but I can only go up that far. So under 90, but over 45 at least, and it can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, so not too bad. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We've got the ab crunch in the middle, so you crunch forward, crunch back. Not the best crunching, but pretty decent. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. Shin twist in the middle of the leg, and then the foot flexes back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements. Not the best movements out of all the figures, but still relatively decent. Now with those accessories, as I mentioned, first we get a head without the hood, and like I said, he looks kind of like the Twi'leks from Star Wars, so there he looks more angry and stuff, and has the head tails or the Leku as it is in Star Wars, so he has those there with the little like diamonds at the end of it. So that looks pretty cool, and I definitely want to try this head out. So let's pop this head off and put this one on. So there's that head on, and obviously I went ahead and took the cloak off. You can leave it on if you want to as well, but just wanted to show the full body without the cloak, so you can just see all more of the details and stuff and all the designs with the black running through him and everything. But there he is with that on, and I really like that because I love seeing the tails and stuff. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Like obviously I'd want the cloak on, but I don't care if he has the hood up or not. Either way it looks cool, but I do like it with the head tail there. And then we also of course get all black the Necro sword that we can switch out, so you can see it's bonding symbiote like and stuff onto his hand there. So let's go and switch his hand out for this. So there's the sword. Of course you just pop the hand into the joint there, and there he's got the sword now bonding with him, and now he's ready to kill all the gods. So that looks pretty cool. I think I like it better with the cloak on, so let's pop that back on. So I put the cloak back on, left the unhooded off there, and got the sword it all posed up and stuff like he's ready to kill. So that looks pretty cool there for Gorr. So like I said, I'm really happy that we did get a comic version of Gorr as well to go along with the movie release and everything. So that is pretty cool, and overall just looks awesome. I really like this figure design, and I think he looks pretty cool and looks how I've seen him from the comics and stuff, so fits pretty well, and overall an awesome figure, I have to say. And finally, we have the fan channel exclusive War Machine. His real name is James Rhodes, and he's an aviator engineer for Stark Industries, personal pilot and best friend of Tony Stark. And when Tony was severely injured and announced as dead to the public, James was announced as the new CEO of Stark Enterprises, and he continued on Tony's legacy by donning Stark's newest creation, the War Machine armor, and took up the mantle until Tony returned. And overall, he looks cool here, and of course, he's in the design based more off the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 game in the modular armor of Iron Man. but I know in the games, like, they first did War Machine because there was an issue with Iron Man rights and stuff, so they put War Machine first. But by Marvel vs. Capcom 2, he looked like this in the game to match the Iron Man that we've already had. So we've had the Iron Man twice already, and I'll show you that comparison, but this one looks pretty cool and looks how he does from the game, so that's pretty cool to have him. And overall looks pretty awesome, you know, like just like an Iron Man, but in the War Machine colors of the black and the gray, but this time the gray is like a metallic silvery blue, which looks really nice. So it's there all in the midsection, around there on his face, some designs on his forearms, thighs, and knee pads there, and a little on the boots as well. So I like the all nice shiny black with that metallic-y blue gray, just looks really cool all together. And like I said, looks just how it does from the game, so fits pretty well there, and just overall looks really cool. Now movement wise, we got the head that can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far, so not too much movement, which is a big robot armor, so wouldn't really expect too much there. Shoulders can come up. You have to really force it down to get over the little section of black there, so it can come up to 90 and then rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far. The wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We've got ab crunch in the middle, so crunch forward, crunch back. Nice crunching back, not too much forward though. Twist all the way around at the waist. Hips can come up to 90 and out to the side that far. We're not far from doing the splits. Thigh twist all the way around. Double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So overall, he's relatively good, you know, exactly like the past figures we've had, and he does have all the pinless joints and stuff, so it looks pretty nice and smooth there. But overall, like I said, we always tend to have issues, so there was a little bit of stiffness in the elbow joint there, but overall not too bad, and once you get it loose, and it works pretty well. And overall, it just looks nice. It's a nice color design and everything I really like about this figure, and like I said, it looks just like the other Iron Mans we've had. And speaking of, so here's the other modular Iron Man. Of course, I feel these two go the best together since they're like the metallic and everything. So this Iron Man has the metallic red and the metallic gold, so I feel it fits pretty good there with the metallic silver on this War Machine. And then of course we have the newer one from the animated series that's on the exact same body design. So these two are more alike than these two, but I feel these two color wise go together, but they fit more like this because the Iron Man in the games did look more like this one, and then so there was like an alternate uniform, so I feel these two go together. And then this one came with the large proton cannon, which War Machine would also use in the game, so these two more go together, and of course are closely or release wise and stuff, but I feel with the metallics these two go together more. But just like that animated Iron Man, he comes with additional hands, so he's got the hands there, so he's got the repulsor hand and a fist hand, obviously to go on the opposites here. We'll probably do the repulsor hands for him, so let's switch this one out. So there he's got the repulsor hands ready, and with those we do of course get the blast effects. So we have these, and he'll come with all the same effects as that last Iron Man as well, the animated one. So let's put these in his hands. So there's the blast effects in his hand there, so there he's shooting off the repulsors. We also get the unibeam that sort of shoots out of his chest, and it has the design that it pops right into the chest, so we can just pop this on the front. So there we've got the blast shooting out of his chest, which that always looks pretty cool. It takes up a little bit too much space and real too big on the figure and everything, but it is cool that it does come with it. And then finally we do have the big blast effect as well, the big like ball blast effect that can go onto the hand, so you have to have the fist hand and it slides in the hole, which I know you can't really see, but there's a hole there that it'll slide into. This is a big blast effect, spikes and everything, so that looks pretty cool as well that we can put on. But I think I probably would just like these the most, and probably if even that, probably just use the repulsors and stuff because this chest beam is just way too big for him. But overall still looks pretty cool, and it's awesome. It comes with the effects much like he had in the game and stuff. He just doesn't come with the cannon, but since we have that other one, we could give it to him as well, but don't really need it for this version of War Machine. But overall I think he looks really cool and a nice figure to match with our other Iron Man to add onto the shelf with them to go together and stuff. So really cool to have this version of War Machine. Well, that's going to be it for this Marvel Legends exclusive action figure wave that we threw together with the Walgreens exclusive versions of Sentry and Moonstone, the Amazon exclusive Gorr the God Butcher, and fan channel exclusive War Machine. So all four of these are really cool. As I mentioned, Sentry and Moonstone are older figures we've had, so if you don't want to upgrade, you don't have to. I just really like the look of these two, so really nice to have those. Of course, Gorr I would highly recommend. It's just a really cool figure, nice awesome design, nice character to add onto your Marvel shelf. And then this War Machine is really cool, like I said, especially if you have either one of the other two versions of that Iron Man. They'd be cool to add War Machine in there with him. But overall, pretty good figures, I must say. I can't really complain too much except for Sentry with his weird leg and stuff. That's the only real issue I have with any of the figures. But with that, you just sort of put him in a pose and it kind of fixes it there for him. But overall, pretty cool figures all around, I must say. But let me know what you thought of them down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.